like to call this meeting in order. Regular and organizational board meeting on Monday, May 12th, 2025. Can I get a roll call?
Yes, you can. Mr. Sterling?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. McKnight?
Present.
Mrs. Carlson? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Hastings?
Here.
Mrs. Meeks here.
Chris Arduino, recording secretary.
Roy Yarbrough, superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, Human Resources.
Michelle Earp, Curriculum and Instruction.
Jason Bloom, Communications and Community Relations. Josh Rand, Business and Operations.
All right, if I can get everybody to rise. Ready when you're ready.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Let me see something. Approve. I would like to add something to the agenda. It's going to be at 14A 12.
14E12.
Yeah, we're adding Jason Bloom.
Is that complaint manager? Okay.
He's already doing the complaint manager, so this would be.
Makes sense.
Yes, and then we're gonna go back to 14A5E, 14A6F, and 14A7G. We are taking Dan Feltz as an alternate. He is now the superintendent at Rockton.
Okay, 14E by E.
So,
Yes.
yes,
Somebody else. 7G.
E, F, and G.
Yeah. All right.
All right, and then, is this still on everybody else's?
Yes, we need to move 15 to the end.
We're gonna move 15 down to adjourn the organizational meeting, and 17A can be removed. All right, with those changes, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye. Dr. Trujillo?
Mr. Smith, would you like to read the mission statement?
I would. The mission of the Harlem Consolidated School District as a vital part of the community is to help diverse learners realize their unlimited potential by providing an educational program dedicated to academic excellence and the development of strong character in a safe and respectful learning environment.
That was way better than me.
I felt that one.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, sir. With that, can I get a motion to approve board meeting minutes, special and closed minutes of April 3rd, 2025, and regular closed minutes of April 22nd, or 28th, 2025?
Motion. Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hastings?
Aye.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
At this time, we have no comments from the community. All right. For announcements and discussion, we'll turn it over to you guys to, I'd like to tell you how much you guys have been enjoyed, learned from, and I think Harlem is a better place because you guys have been in it and will continue to be in it.
Yep. I'm not going anywhere.
I know you're not.
You?
And
Oh, man.
you have no words?
I mean, that speaks more than the 1,200 words I normally say. It's gonna be different. I mean, we've got, you get to work and gel as a board, Larry for 4 years, Megan for 2, but still, like, we worked well. And I think the thing Mike called out is the part where you're not going anywhere, so, you know, hopefully we can still pick your ear time to time and vice versa, if you've got questions coming back around, but, yeah, I don't know, anything I'm gonna say, like, the 2 and 4 years speaks far louder than anything I'm gonna come up with now, but, yeah.
We're just going around. So Larry, we might not have seen eye to eye on everything, but I respect you, I respect your opinion, and I learned a lot from you. I loved your perspective. You had a different perspective coming in as a principal to a board. It's a different perspective that now I look at things differently because of our conversation. Megan, kind of the same way. We've said it 100 times. We weren't supposed to get along, but we did, and I would consider you a friend now. And once again, we have different perspectives, and I look at things through different eyes, you know, and we're not going to change each other's mind on some things, and other things we did, but we were able to work together, and that's what the board is. So you guys will both be missed, and I thank you for your time. Mike said it, Harlem is a better place because you guys were a part of this team.
Should put it on a banner.
There you go.
Put on a t-shirt.
T-shirt.
I appreciate you both. We had a lot of differences, Megan, and we still sat across from each other and worked with each other and dealt with it. It was a fight to the finish for the election, just to get it taken care of, but we both got through it. Larry, I appreciate you, excuse me, just being a different voice. Both of you being a different voice, but you especially being a different voice, being a principal, being a teacher, knowing your way up through the course of the years, and I will miss both of your opinions and ideas, and so have a great future, and I'm sure, like they all say, we'll hear from you one way or another.
As I look to both of you, I just want to say, I thank you, Larry, for your time as a principal, and as being a board member. We've gained a lot of knowledge from you and your jokes. We miss that.
I forgot.
But you are truly an amazing man, a respectable man, and you walk the walk and you talk the talk. And I want you to know you'll be greatly missed, and I appreciate serving my time with you.
Thank you.
And then Megan, I appreciate you. We sat together, and I learned a lot from you, and I want to tell you I admire your strength. How you, when you know something is wrong and not being right, you stand for what you believe, and you do a lot of, I'm trying to say, if you want to know what's going on, you will definitely do your research, and you know what you're talking about. You will be greatly missed, and I know the students, everybody in this community will miss when that person's when someone you see injustice, you stand for it, and you fight to the finish, and you walk the walk and talk the talk also. I've learned a lot from both of you guys. Sitting next to you guys, I really admire both of you, and I want you to know you will be greatly missed, and I will keep both of you in my heart. And some of the things that I have learned from both of you, and I want you to know that you both are greatly appreciated. Thank you for your 4 years, and thank you for your 2 years. It seemed like it's been forever, but it's not. But I just want you guys to know, hold your head up high, even though this election, didn't work out. God has other things planned for you. And that's the way I look at life. When it's something that you want, but it doesn't happen, there's something else in the future that's meant for you to get. And we will always cherish you guys. And some of the things that you brought to this board, we will still be reminiscing on it. So thank you guys, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to cry. Who got a competition?
All right, do you want to do some pictures? All right, we have, what else did we have too?
We have pictures and we have some cookies and water for a little reception for about 10 minutes.
Yep.
We can take some time to say our farewells.
Can we do the picture first?
Yes, we know you in the
We have
pictures.
some bells, surprise.
I didn't see Tommy sitting over there.
He snuck in, I saw him.
Formally adjourned, so if I could do that later.
I didn't even see you.
We're going to adjourn, sign, you die. We can either do it now or we can do it after the reception.
I just wanted to make sure.
We have plenty of cookies for everyone in the
Yeah, we
audience.
can adjourn this, send it. All right. We'll do that, and then we can, well,
Adjourn, sign, you die.
yeah. Can I need a motion
It's like, I'm out, I'm not doing this.
We're just here for the cookie the whole
I
time.
didn't catch that we were coming back, sorry.
Motion to adjourn, sine die.
A motion.
Second.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Hasty?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, this part of the meeting will be done. We got 10 minutes.
Can we get the new board members to your seats? We welcome you.
Who's over here?
Diana.
Oh, okay.
Don't know. Chris, what do you want me to do with Larry's bag? He left it here, his computer and stuff. Okay.
And we have approval.
See, that cookie though, don't have enough water.
We'll take good care of you.
Diane, you sit next to me.
This is the rowdy side.
There's some truth to that. Be prepared.
This is the rowdy seat.
I just appreciate more color now. All those people wearing black shirts.
Hey, she was a teacher, she shouldn't keep it on.
Don't think I'm fooling you.
Oh, that's Big deal.
Because I won't see you over there for
Trust me, I know.
Got everyone here?
That's right.
I'd like to call this organizational meeting to order.
With the new ones, I don't have that. You got two of the new names.
Right here. I got you. Actually, Chris got you. I stole it from you. All right. Can I get a roll call?
Yes, you can. Mr. Sterling,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Mr. McKnight,
Present.
Mrs. Carlson,
Here.
Mrs. Meeks, here, Mrs. Johnson,
Here.
Mrs. McKinney,
Here.
Chris Arduino, recording secretary.
Troy Yarborough, superintendent.
Shelley Wagner, Human Resources.
Michelle, her curriculum and instruction.
Jason Bloom, Communications and Community Relations. Josh Rand, Business and Operations.
All right, and with this, for our new board members, this is our organizational part of the meeting, so we will not be having a president at this moment, so now we have to assign President Pro Tem to do a vote to get our organizational chart. So I need a nomination for President Pro Tem.
Kurt Thompson.
Evelyn Meeks.
You need to say any name you want to say.
Evelyn Meeks or what?
Exactly why I said pro tem for the actual voting.
This is for the voting, someone to run the meeting for the voting of who's going to be our
It's just like when we
officers.
do a secretary.
Aaron.
All right, so I got one for Aaron.
I
and
will
one for
second
Kurt.
Aaron.
Second,
Third.
third.
Okay, well,
There you go, Aaron.
So 3 for Aaron.
I will move I had to move my seat. You might want to take a nomination for who's going to be Secretary Pro Tem, just so you know.
all right. So can I get a nomination for who is going to be Secretary Pro Tem?
Actually, no,
I'm not supposed to do that, see?
you're going to go over this.
Vice President.
So just announce the
Yeah, just announce that.
So announce the official April 1st election canvassed results. Evelyn Meeks, 2,151 votes. Diane McKinney, 2,050 votes. Kurt Thompson, 1,880 votes. And Diana Johnson, 1,831 votes.
You gotta do the next part.
I know, I need to know what the, I need the oath of office.
It's in that
You
pile.
need to elect the secretary pro tem, right here. He did the president, and now you couldn't tell.
Yeah, Aaron can do both.
I'm happy that.
You didn't want to read that, did you?
Too fast.
I
You got out of here too fast, so,
I luckily didn't have to.
yeah, can we get a nomination to appoint a Secretary Pro Tem?
I nominate Evelyn Meeks.
I second him. Second Evelyn Meeks.
Evelyn Meeks.
There you go.
You're in, Evelyn.
So you're secretary.
Yeah.
When can she do it when she's gonna
Just
be?
right now.
Oh, can she-
Yeah. Chris, doesn't she have to take the oath?
Yes.
So I nominate Rebecca.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I nominate Kurt.
I also have to take the oath, so I will second
We nominate
Rebecca.
Mike.
Or I guess Mike as well.
Rebecca, you want to?
I'm totally lost.
What are we doing here?
Nomination for Rebecca for Secretary Pro Tem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you're it.
I think we did.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have an oath somewhere in
It's in there.
It is written out, but I'll just copy to you.
There it is. All right. Can I do them both together?
You can do all four of them.
All of them? All
Sure.
four of them? Do we have them stand?
Yes.
Up in the middle here?
So we had to
All right.
repeat.
Yes, you have to repeat after him.
You're gonna do your.
Then I can hand these. I'll hand those out.
Sorry, we're not normally this crazy, but
Well, maybe we did this more than last
You're
time.
gonna say, and then they're gonna say, you know, they have to raise their hand.
thank you for doing this, sir. I'm gonna sit back and.
Yeah, this way. Gotta be all happy. Just a different dose.
All right. So they're gonna repeat after me?
But they can all say it.
Right.
Okay, you guys want to say it? So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of the school board, I will do my utmost to represent the public interest in education by adhering to the following standards and principles. This is where you repeat after me. I will represent all school district constituents honestly
I will represent all schools' constituents honestly
and equally and refuse
and equally and refuse
to surrender my responsibilities to special interests
to surrender my responsibilities to special interests
or partisan political groups.
or partisan political groups.
Number two, I will avoid any conflict of interest
I will avoid any conflict of interest
or the appearance of impropriety which could result from my position.
or appearance of...
Which could result from my...
How about one more time?
Okay.
I thought I was not allowed.
I know, these are mouths. Right. And I will not use my board membership
I will not use my board membership
for personal gain or publicity.
for personal gain or publicity.
Number three, I will recognize that a board member
I will recognize that a board member
has no legal authority as an individual
has no legal authority as an individual,
and that decisions can be made only by a majority
and decisions can be made only by a majority.
vote at the board meeting.
Vote at the board meeting.
Stop at a different place. Number four, I will take no private action
I will take no private action
that might compromise the board or administration
that might compromise the board or administration,
and will respect the confidentiality of privileged information.
and will respect the confidentiality of privileged information.
Okay, number five, we're not even halfway there. I will abide by the majority decisions of the board
I will abide by the majority decisions of the board
while retaining the right to seek changes
while retaining the right to seek changes
in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels.
in such decisions through ethical and just channels.
I will encourage and respect the free expression of opinion.
I will encourage and respect the free expression of decision. Opinions.
By my fellow board members
By my fellow board members
and will participate in board discussions in an open,
and will participate in board discussions in an open,
honest, and respectful manner,
honest, and respectful manner,
honoring differences of opinion or perspective.
honoring differences of opinion or
All
perspective.
right, we're halfway done, okay.
We're
a
getting
little bit
there.
more. These are a little bit shorter. I will prepare for,
I will prepare for,
attend, and actively participate
attend, and actively participate
in school board meetings.
in school board meetings.
I will be sufficiently informed and prepared
I will be sufficiently informed and prepared
to act on the specific issues before the board
to act on the specific issues before the board,
and remain reasonably knowledgeable about local, state, national, and global education issues.
How about we split that one up a little?
And remain reasonably knowledgeable about local,
And remain reasonably knowledgeable about local,
state, national, and global education issues.
state, national, and global
education issues.
And
we're getting there.
There's no commas. I will respectfully listen to those who communicate with the board,
I will respectfully listen to those who communicate with the board,
seeking to understand their views
seeking to understand their views,
while recognizing my responsibility
while recognizing my responsibility
to represent the interests of the entire community.
to represent the interests of the entire community.
All right, almost done. I will strive for a positive working relationship with the superintendent,
I will strive with a positive working relationship with the superintendent,
respecting the superintendent's authority
respecting the superintendent's authority
to advise the board,
to advise the board,
implement board policy,
implement board policies,
and administer the district.
and administer the district.
All right. This one's a long one. I will model continuous learning and work
I will model continuous learning and work
to ensure the good governance
To
to ensure good governance
by taking advantage of board member development opportunities,
by taking advantage of board member opportunities
such as those sponsored by my state
such as those sponsored by my state
and national school board associations,
and national school board associations,
and encourage my fellow board members to do the same.
and encourage my fellow board members to do the same.
Take a deep breath, last one. I will strive to keep my board focused
I will strive to keep my board focused
on its primary work of clarifying the district purpose,
on its primary work of clarity
District's focus.
purpose,
Focus in on the purpose.
directions and goals,
directions and goals,
and monitoring district performance.
and monitoring district performance.
All right.
That was better than over 2 years ago.
Yes.
When I was standing on the other side. That is. Somebody needs to put commas in here.
I just remember the average person remembers seven words, 7 numbers.
I gave you guys 4.
I was already saying it for a while.
That was really tough. Okay, that was a lot longer than that.
Sure, should I, please?
Your name and then your
Oh my gosh.
board number here and then sign.
It is.
So seating of the new board members,
Yeah, okay,
they're already seated.
let's see, I've got it here. Okay. So now, this is, we're gonna announce this is an election for 2-year terms, and then you start running for the office of president.
So, this is the election for officers for a 2-year term. Nominations received and taken by myself for the office of president. So who are we nominating for president?
I would like to nominate Mike Sterling for president.
Second. Second.
Third.
Fourth? All right. So as many are in favor of Mike Sterling, say aye. Aye. Any opposed of Mike Sterling for office of president, say no.
No. Oh, what?
Are you opposed? So don't say no.
I thought you said don't say, oh. I'm sorry.
So, yes, the ayes have it.
I was reading something.
I guess you were. So, secondly,
Okay.
this is, I get back to my.
Congratulations,
Now he
Mike.
gets it back.
That was terrible.
Good, man.
Thank you for your vote of confidence.
That's a lot of work.
You want to pass that down to you?
That's a lot of words.
So, The next nomination will be received, be taken for the nomination for vice president. Do I have any nominations for the vice presidency?
I nominate Kurt Thompson.
I second for Kurt Thompson.
Third. Are there any other nominations?
Fourth.
Are there any objections? Welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Nominations for the office of secretary. I'd like to nominate Evelyn Meeks.
I would like to second Evelyn Meeks.
Thank you, guys.
Are there any other nominations?
Third.
Okay. Are there any objections? Welcome back. All right,
Hopefully Evelyn wanted to be
with
secretary.
that, we are going to adjourn the organizational meeting. The election
It's not.
is now closed, and the recording secretary can announce the newly elected officers.
So president is Mike Sterling, vice president is Kurt Thompson, and secretary is Evelyn Meeks. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. I need a, did everybody go over the meeting minutes or not the meeting dates?
Is it possible, Michael, to split the COTW into 2 evenings and make the board meeting once a month and still have just 3 meetings? So as not to spend nearly as much time on one evening and also to allow for out stakeholders or whomever may want to come to a couple of the COTW group meetings?
I think
Does
that
that
would,
make sense?
I think we would need to have that discussion among the boards and then also then bring it back as a voting item
Okay.
for it to be split. Because as it is right now, it's,
It's also policy.
correct. So we would have to bring that back as a voting item.
new item.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can always change the schedule. We do need to approve the one, so we'll just bring it forward and bring that in for a discussion. Okay. With that, with the calendar as it is, can I get a motion to approve the 2025-2026 board meeting and committee of the whole meeting dates and times?
Motion.
Mr. Thompson?
Need
I need
a
a
second?
Second, sorry.
I'm just jumping the gun.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
No.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mrs. Sterling?
Aye.
Wow, McKinney and McKnight sitting right next to each other.
Isn't this gonna be fun?
I can't use my understanding anymore.
Leave it
You don't have to deal with this.
So we're going to approve the appointment of board chairs, 2025-2026. Business services will be Kurt and Aaron. Policy, Rebecca. Education, Diane and Diana. And equity will be Ms. Evelyn Meeks. With those, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion?
Second.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Johnson? Mrs. Johnson?
Oh, aye.
Mr. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
With that, with all the 14A organizational action items, are there any that need to be pulled out or approved separately? Because otherwise we can approve them all in one.
I would like to bring out 14A15.
Okay?
I just had I don't know if anybody's looked at it, I mean, it's on the agenda, if anybody has read it top to bottom, I'm not sure if we all have. I think that the ethics is a good thing. I know I've spent a lot of time looking through it. I think we need to look a little closer into all of the things it says. There have been the gift ban, I'm not worried about, but the ethics. There have been some things that have taken place over the course of the election since approximately September that have been a little concerning for some of the ethics. I know, even for myself, I signed a petition, even sitting in the boardroom and didn't even think about it until I had already done it. But there were just a few things that I had highlighted: preparing for, organizing, participating in political meetings, rallies, demonstrations, distributing mailings, literature, signs, campaign material, participating in challenges. I just think that we need to be more determined. If we're going to vote on it and going to actually uphold these, we need to be more determined to follow each one piece by piece separately. So it was just a concern that we were kind of letting things go during some of our election time, so. And maybe I have them backwards, and maybe I'm reading them incorrectly, but it just seemed like there were some things that kind of got taken out of context a little bit, so.
Do you have specifics?
Well, I don't want to point fingers, I don't want to name names, I don't want to go into anything like that, but I know just participating in a challenge to the outcome, there seems to have been a challenge from the beginning to have somebody, removed from the ballots. I don't know if that means somebody on the board. I almost want to talk to legal and just see if I'm reading these correctly.
But any citizen can challenge, and it's not political.
Citizens can, but I didn't know because it
Board
actually
members are still
states-
citizens.
It states
according-
board members
yeah.
on the job, so I didn't know if that was something, because it also states that if you're outside of the job and you're working as a board member, now if you're going in as a citizen, that's a totally different thing. So maybe that's where that's not a concern. But, distributing mailings, literature, signs, campaign material, it seemed like there were a lot of board members just kind of passing out signs for other people and putting them in and not letting them go for those who are actually on the ballot, the candidates themselves. And those were the only two that were more concerning. And then participating in political meetings and rallies, and I don't know if that means during or the entire time, like after the meetings, after the vote, after the election evening. I'm not sure, but I just think there were some things that were kind of gray areas that had just needed to be a little more determined to definite, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll pull it out and we can vote on that one separately, with that being said.
can I have a comment on that?
Yeah.
For being a village trustee for 12 years, I know how this goes. A candidate is, a board member is welcome to back any candidate that they feel they would like to. That is nothing against that as far as ethics go.
Correct.
They can be at rallies, they can pass out literature if they're in favor of that candidate. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know with my years of experience as a village board member with challenges on petitions, that it is very, very common for board members and elected officials to challenge someone's petition. So there's nothing wrong ethically that way.
No, I agree, but.
Oh, we can look into it, but I'm just saying that's, it's a common practice. If you want to support a candidate, you're definitely able to do that.
That's true. All right. Are there any other? All right. Can I get a motion to approve all of the organizational items excluding 14A15?
Also calling out the change, right, for the alternate?
For
For removal of the alternate, just to make sure.
For Jason, for Jason Bloom under the complaint manager?
Yeah.
Correct.
And striking the alternate for the due process hearings.
Correct, but wasn't that added when we did the thing?
Just
Yes.
confirming.
Dan Phelps will be taken off as the
So
alternate.
with all changes.
Yeah, with all changes.
Motion.
Second. Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meeks? Aye. Mr. Johnson? Why do I keep calling you Mr. Johnson? I'm sorry. Steve?
That's Mr. Johnson.
Larry was over in that.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Steve? Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
All right. With that, can I get a motion and a second to approve 14A15, adopted policy 2105, ethics and gift ban resolution in compliance with state officials and employees Ethics Act 5 ILCS 430-1-1. And added as PA 93615 and 93617.
Can we, is there a way that we can push this to get legal clarification on a couple items or no?
I mean, we can, it's our standard policy, but.
Do you just want to bring
That does
back to
come down
policy?
from
It is.
IAS.
I'm just trying to appease everybody and stuff, because some of this stuff is vague, very vague. It's not, it doesn't, it's almost like it needs a little cliff note saying that this is what this means, right? Like, so.
We can,
like Josh said, oh, sorry, go ahead.
we'll just move it.
Like, I'm just looking at like number 1, no employee shall intentionally perform any political activity during a compensated time. Like, what's a compensated time?
So it would be
Is that during a regular board
No,
meeting?
so you're thinking that as a
Teacher.
board meeting, that would be a teacher during school.
During what
First
time
getting
would it be?
paid,
Right.
yeah.
See, I'm not that smart. Because I'm like, I'm not compensated, but I get, okay.
Well, I know that, I just wanted to throw it, if you look at after number 4 on that same list, it says a board member may engage in any activity that is otherwise appropriate and is undertaken. So it sounds like anytime you're considered a board member, you are following the ethics, which could be in a number of different situations and places and so.
I mean, the enforcement mechanism, no matter what you do, is right, like, we can identify almost anything. We review it, and then it's sent to the state's attorney, right? Like, I don't know, I don't think vague is doing any disservice in this point, just based on the enforcement mechanism, right? Like, it allows us to review it ourselves, see if there's issues that are there, and one way or the other, like, if we were the enforcement mechanism and it was vague and we could remove someone from the board, I'm right there with you, right? Like, that's different, but the enforcement mechanism still is due process and escalation to
Right.
someone that is, trained is legal, which we are not, right?
Right.
So for that, I'm okay with it, but if there's anything else that's called out, or if I'm seemingly looking at that differently, let me know.
No, I see it, and then the way
Yeah.
it states is, I mean, you're only a board member and so many,
It's up to interpretation.
when you're at a board meeting, when you're doing an official act for the school, and you're going there as, I mean, that's why sometimes you have to go, if you're gonna go see them, you're gonna like, I'm meeting with you as a board member or as the parent of a child.
Right.
So that, even in those instances, is the law. Yes, we know
I
it.
think we've learned too over time that, like, it's like shall and may when you look at
Yes.
policy.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you've got, like, in number 3, number 4, require is the key word that's listed there. And so any of these activities are something that is being required of you to be a part of. So I think you can see where that clears that up. a
Well,
little
there's
bit.
the word intentionally too, like, did I intentionally break a rule or I didn't know the rule? So I didn't intentionally break it, but, okay. I will motion to approve.
Second.
Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Abstained?
Mrs. Meeks? Aye.
Okay, when you abstain on a vote like this, you do need to give a reason.
Because I find it a little bit confusing to know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right.
I know it's not my place, but I would offer that, because it came up, obviously as policy chair, like, the clarification, or if you need to talk to us, to
Right,
talk about
right.
interpretation and stuff like that, we can either do that, or we can bring it to a policy to have some more
Something to
discussion,
work
so we
on.
can clarify some of that stuff.
I'll get legal to
Surprise.
write up something.
That would be helpful.
Not a problem. That's what we do. All right, I need a motion and a second to go into executive session to discuss negotiation 5 ILCS 120-2 C2.
Motion.
Second.
Mrs. McKinney?
Aye.
Mr. Sterling?
Yes, aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. McKnight?
Aye.
Mrs. Carlson?
Yes.
Mrs. Meek? Aye. And Mrs. Johnson?
Aye.
This whole zigzag stuff isn't working for me, so.
I know. All right, with that, we're gonna have time to take some individual photos, and then we'll go into close.
Yep.
All right.